Peace, family. Sabrina Sahara of Back to Natural. There's a lot going on, and I would be remiss to not share because of everything that's going on. I've gone back and forth in regards to doing this video or not, with everything going on in our world today. But as above, so below, and given how much I'm trying to in tune with nature and everything that is happening, I just truly feel like whatever it is that someone knows, they should share it. And whether it affects or helps one person, it's enough. So here I am sharing. Stay tuned if you're interested.
Time to get back to natural.
So we're in spring. The vernal equinox is bringing new beginnings. We had the resurrection vibes that came through, whether you follow the tradition of revering Jesus and Easter, or whether it's the resurrection of Osar and the Heru energy, Oset energy, and that original Holy Trinity. Whatever you believe in, the message is the same in regards to rebirth, in regards to renewal and resurrection, and especially given this spring vibe. The equality that the vernal equinox brings with equal day and equal night is also aligned with this energy that comes through, and it continues. The full moon that we just had in Libra, which also brings in that notion of balance, aligns with that energy as well, and also shifted from divine feminine predominant energy to divine masculine energy. That cycle change is really, really important for us to acknowledge and for us to all tap into, and for us to also understand that when we refer to divine feminine and divine masculine, it really is about rooting and tapping into the balance within all of us and rooting to nature and realizing that every single one of us have divine feminine energy and have divine masculine energy. When things are imbalanced, that's when we can delve off more into toxic masculinity and an over-insurgence of feminine energy, which again throws things off kilter. As above, so below, or as below, so above in many senses, because our actions and the things that we do to Mother Nature, to the earth, to ourselves, naturally affects everything around us. I'm going to try to keep this video, again, usually under the 15 minutes so that I can post it on Instagram directly. I'm going to be looking directly at you guys. I'm going to be looking over here to watch my time. I'm going to be looking up at my whiteboard for the notes and such, just to try to keep myself aligned, because there is so much, so much going on. And I definitely want to try to at least touch on as much as I can, so that the objective of me sharing these videos is not to tell you anything or tell you what to do. It's really to, put something in there that is based on either channeled messages, ancestral guidance, research, card readings, all of it coming together, and putting it out there so that you can see what resonates, and then you can do further research for yourself. That is so key, especially in this age of social media and misinformation, that I am the first to say, don't take my word for it, don't take anybody's word for it, and don't even take your word for it. In a sense, it's really about your intuition and aligning your mind and your heart. Our mind lies to us very, very often, but our hearts, more often than not, speak the truth. So we really do have to synthesize, and that's where that balance comes in, and also that divine feminine and masculine energy comes in. So in regards to this new energy, it's spring equinox and we're watching the trees blossom and everything is coming anew. We have the opportunity to tap into that energy. And with the last full moon, as I mentioned, in Libra, giving us that balance of things and aligning the scales of balance and fairness and justice, there's been a new portal, in a sense, that has opened, which again transition things from divine feminine to divine masculine, and it was the end of a cycle. So we've started a new cycle off of this spring energy, vernal equinox energy, and the astrological new year. So there is newness and fresh and rebirth and a resurgence of so much new energy coming all at the same time. And now we're coming into the first new moon since spring, and the astrological new year. So that's just, again, bringing things that much more, highlighting and, giving that symbolism of just, again, fresh new blossoms and vibes that we as well can attune to, so that we can manifest what it is that we want to manifest. We have the cicadas coming through, if you guys have been paying attention to that energy, and we've got the 17-year periodical cicadas that are going to be coming up and emerging, which again is all about rebirth, renewal, shedding of skin. We have snake energy and symbolism, as well as this cicada energy, butterfly out of the cocoon energy, all of that really aligning to that same opportunity to, bloom into something fresh and something new. So we really have a lot to learn about what's happening with nature. Right now we're seeing what's happening in St. Vincent, and around the world, across the board, we see how nature is erupting in many ways and reacting in many ways. And that is what we do have to pay very close attention to, that it is a reaction. In many ways, it's a defense, because we have not been treating nature the way we should be treating nature. And moreover, we have not been revering and aligning with nature as we should. Thinking about the cicadas, I also, spirits came through, and thinking about cicadas and how do they know 17 years under the ground, and then to be able to decide that after 17 years they're going to come up, come out of their, exoskeleton shell, whatever they call it, and, bloom with their wings just to mate, and then to, die and wait another 17 years. That new generation waits another 17 years under the ground, feeding off of tree roots until, they do it all over again, and then that next generation does it all over again. And I realized that to say cicada also makes me think about our circadian rhythm. So when you think about our circadian clock, that natural clock that we have within us, and I don't want to get too into it because that's a whole other video, but just check it out on YouTube, do further research. But the words are so aligned, the cicada and circadia and circadian, which is again about our 24-hour clock, our natural clock that's related to our pineal gland, our melatonin levels, the sun energy, and how much sun and light that we're receiving in the day, which is what dictates our waking state and our sleeping state, and finding that natural rhythm. Cicadas know their natural rhythm, and their circadian rhythm is a 17-year cycle versus our 24-hour cycle in some ways. So it's important for us to know what our rhythms are, so that we can have optimal health, so we can again align, attune with nature, and also revere nature the way that we should. If we think about how aligned we are with nature and how aligned we are with our ancestors, I think it's important, because then we're going to take better care of ourselves, because we're going to realize that the two, the three, the multiple are one. We are one with nature. We are one with our ancestors. Our ancestors are us. We are our ancestors. We are nature, quite literally. So if we think about revering ourselves, then we should be revering nature in that same way. If we revere our ancestors, we should be revering ourselves in that same way. There's no hierarchy in that sense. We really are one. We really are aligned in that very, very clear sense. And to realize that a circadian rhythm happens for humans, for animals, for plants, makes you realize just how at one we are with nature, and why it is so important for us to think about how we affect ourselves and how we're affecting nature, from the little things in regards to our sleep patterns and our waking state, and all of these things, from when we choose to have caffeine versus when we choose to take a nap, or if we don't choose to take a nap at all. It's so aligned, it's so important. So please look into it, especially now with this new moon coming. There's an opportunity, and always an opportunity, for us to reset our circadian rhythm. But especially given new moon energy, it's always a good time to plant new seeds, to do something fresh. So all of that came through, again, very channeled in a sense. It's not something that I even intended to share in this video. And then it came through right before I did this, in aligning with the cicadas and realizing that there are no accidents, and it is absolutely aligned. And that is something for myself that I took, that again, I'm taking for myself, but I think it's important to share, because there are very clear things that I now know I'm going to do for this particular new moon cycle, and with everything coming up through spring that I'm going to try to get through in the next 4 minutes or so that you guys can try to take advantage of it as well, because this is incredible, rare energy. It's always rare, right? But the things that combine at the same time just make it that much more rare. So again, if we're thinking about this new moon that's coming, it's coming in Aries. So the Aries energy is, again, the first sign of the zodiac, the leader, number one, ready to go. It's very action oriented. So it's really about thinking about how we're going to organize, how we're going to plan, how we're going to actually get things done. There's an Aries stellium that's happening. So I won't go too much into that, but just look up Aries stellium 2021 for this, particular this month coming up, and that again is very, very high energy, supporting our plans of action and proactiveness. Then we've got, and again, the 11th. So we have this new moon is coming tomorrow, April 11th. We've got master number 11 energy all over that, which is just intensifying the probability for us to actually not just visualize, but embody what it is that we want to manifest. And as a result, for it to come to fruition that much quicker, especially as we're culminating this energy going into the full moon that's coming up on April 26th. That's going to be in Scorpio. And then we've got the new moon in May, which is also going to fall on an 11. So we've got 2 new moons back to back with master number 11. And we've got May 26th is the next full moon. So now we've got 2 full moons back to back on the 26th. 2 and 6 is 8. We've got infinity energy with that. We've got the 1-on-1 with the 11 energy. And that if you put those 1-on-1s together, you've got also another master number, which is 22, or the number 2, which is again coming together from a single to coming together with collective consciousness, bringing together community, coming together in a partnership ideal. And that's what this energy, this new earth energy is all about, is really about coming together with a unit, with another, and building something and making it come to fruition. So that is important, and it's poignant to think of April 11th and April 26th and for new moon and full moon, and then right after that we go into May 11th and May 26th as well, with new moon and full moon back to back. So powerful stuff. We also got a blood moon, so it's going to be a lunar eclipse on that May 26th full moon. So that's going to be a blood moon. So again, super, super powerful energy with all of this happening through this spring season. All of this is happening through spring season. And then right before our spring season rolls its way out, we've got a final new moon, June 10th, with a solar eclipse. So all of these things, I just wanted to throw those dates out in this quick video so that you guys can look it up. The cicadas, circadian rhythm, these new moons coming up on the 11th, these full moons coming up on the 26th, and June 10th's new moon, final new moon for the spring season. Powerful stuff, manifesting stuff, embodiment stuff, and the opportunity to not just change our lives, but to literally change the world as we know it. The world is changing, and really is about thinking about faith over fear, thinking about sacred over systems. There is so much that is being inundated and thrown upon us, and us kind of being forced into something, and we really have to pay very close attention in regards to what side we want to be on. So let the universe lead you, let nature guide you. Realign, connect with your ancestors. We are losing people, but we are not losing them. They are going to the ancestral realm so that they can do the work that they need to do to support us. So let us do what we need to do to support ourselves and support them. So with that, hit me up if you need anything. And I will be taking a 3-day hiatus with this new moon energy, just to retreat and really connect with this. I recommend you do the same. But if you need anything, please do hit me up. And lest we forget, it's time to get back to natural. Peace.